Howdy folks, Marvin Forte here, KFNW Director. I'm here with Tournament Director Jim Davis. We're at the KFNW Kayak Bass Classic on Potholes Reservoir. And we're here to name the winners and give away the awards. Before we get started on Potholes though, I want to talk about two of our Anglers of the Year. We've got an Angler of the Year and a Rookie of the Year. Our Angler of the Year this year is Mr. Brandon Hua. Brandon, come on up here and talk to us. There's a plaque for you.
Sweet.
And courtesy of Next Adventure, Brandon also wins a Bonafide RS-117.
Another kayak.
Woo. Come on up and tell us about your year.
Yeah. Honestly, after these last 2 days, this year's been a blur. But, it really didn't catch many, big fish. And I didn't even win an event this year. So, just being consistent in that, top four is really what got it done. Kind of just focus, and very similar to how this weekend went, just focusing on finding solid keepers. And that's pretty much what got it done for me.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Well done. And our Rookie of the Year, Andrew Janke. Andrew, this is your first year with us. Tell us what you think about KFNW and why you think it worked for you to be Rookie of the Year.
Well, I stepped back from fishing boat tournaments, and I wanted to start fishing kayak tournaments because a friend of mine that used to do this, his name's Will Harris, I'd go with him, borrow his dad's boat, and I was like, I kind of like doing this. It's a lot different than the boat tournaments. Yeah, one of the couple things that I really like about kayak fishing is there's been so many tournaments that I've been dragging fish around in my live well, and I do all the little tricks, throw ice in there, all that stuff to try to keep them alive. They don't always, some of them start floating up and the seagulls are, hovering around me. So I was like, I like this Tourney X stuff. I think it's better for conservation. So I like that. The other thing I really like about kayak fishing is instead of getting in my bass cat and blowing 70 miles an hour down a lake, I like being able to pick an area apart. I think it's way more strategic than the boat deal because you can, you take your conditions and you have an area and you exploit it. So that's been my biggest takeaway between the boat and the kayak. What got me Rookie of the Year, I just probably finesse fishing, just trying to get as many fish as I can is pretty much what it is. And I just try to weed through the little ones and get a decent, 5. So that's about it. It's a lot of fun. I'm too bad Next Adventure is going away because they're only 4 miles from my house.
Yeah.
That's where I got my kayak. So hopefully you wrangle something else together in the area.
We're trying.
So that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Andrew wins a Kokatat dry suit courtesy of Next Adventure. All right, and with that, let's jump on to the classic here at Potholes Reservoir. We had 23 anglers fishing this event this year. And out of those 23 anglers, we had 325 fish submitted. And I know that a lot of anglers were culling, and so they didn't even submit those fish to Tourney X. So I know that number is probably double or triple 325. So there were a lot of fish caught here in the middle of October in the wind and the drizzle and the cold. So I commend all of you for your grit just for getting through this. Today's top 3 anglers and the big bass winner will cash a check. Before I go too much further, though, I want to thank our sponsors, our presenting sponsors specifically. Diamond Parking, Diamond Self-Storage, Next Adventure, Native Watercraft, and Snake River Manufacturing. There's no way we could produce this tournament series without your generous contributions. Thank you so much. All right. So, big bass. We've got 2 big bass today. We've got a big bass on the day for the biggest bass of the tournament. That person is going to cash a check for the side pot, and there's also a contribution from one of our sponsors for that. Three Rivers Tackle is giving $200 gift certificate to the big bass, the overall big bass of the tournament. Let's hear it for Three Rivers Tackle. We all spend a lot of money there, so it's good to see some of it come back. And then for the runner-up to big bass, so what that is, whoever wins the overall big bass, it's the other day. The other day of the tournament, whatever the biggest bass is for that day, they're going to win $15 per inch from Discount Tackle. And I'll have that exact amount for you a little bit later, but thanks to Discount Tackle for that. And we've got another Discount Tackle prize, but we'll get to that here in just a second. All right, so let's start from 5th place and go up. Places 1, 2, and 3, when I call your name, come on up here, grab your trophy, your big check, and stand on the podium after you talk about your day. All right, so 5th place. In 5th, with 165.25 inches and a 20-inch kicker from Washington, Jim Carey. Let's hear it for Jim. All right, in 4th place, this is our first angler out of the money. So this is a special sponsor prize that we're doing with Discount Tackle this year. The first person who doesn't cash a check gets $250 from Discount Tackle. So in 4th place with 168 inches, a 17.75 inch kicker, you just saw him, Mr. Andrew Janke. Congrats, Andrew. Way to go on 4th. All right, here's the top 3. In 3rd, with 172 inches and a 20.5 inch kicker, which happens to be big bass of the day as well, winning $544 for 3rd and $1,208 for a big bass, Mr. Sean Soule. Get on up here. There's that for you, and I've got a couple of checks.
Thank you.
Get you right in front of that mic. There it is. Look at that. Let's hear about your day.
So yesterday, just today or
Both.
Yesterday,
And especially that 20 and a half.
I'll talk about the 20 and a half. Yesterday, I was fishing the humps in the morning just to get my limit. Got my limit pretty early. Then I was able to shoot across to the dam. There's a small section of the dam over there where they were hitting a crankbait. I was cranking it at 8XD, and that's where I got that 20 inch. It was over there on the rocks. Today I tried to repeat and do the same thing. With the wind though, it came up so bad that I wasn't shooting across the lake. And by the time I did get over there, the crankbait was done. So I caught all my fish on the hump today.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Well done, sir. Here's your checks. You get check there in 3rd place. Amazing. Crankbait, power fishing, caught the giant. That's great. All right, in 2nd place, you may remember Sean had 172 inches for his total. This angler had 172.75. So only 3/4 of an inch. You were so close. Had an 18.75 inch kicker, winning $932, Mr. Brandon Hua from Oregon. Way to go. 2nd place, there's that.
Take it.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so I think we'll start with practice. Pretty much fished the face of the dunes the last 4 days. Side scan literally probably every single dune that's on the face of the dunes. And what I was looking for was hard spots on these dunes. It seems like that's where I found fish, and also just some things that are a little bit different. I actually found a couple stumps that were isolated out on some dunes, and just pretty much that. Dragging a shaky head real slow, and honestly most of my fish were eating it, dead sticking it. Magnum shaky head, California craw, Z-Man mag fatties, and also their new fatties thick sticks. So 2 big Magnum shaky heads is pretty much what got it done. Did hook into a big fish yesterday on a Magnum spoon, an 8-inch spoon, and it popped off. Chris was my witness. He saw it. He was next to me. But yeah, I mean, caught a bunch of fish today. That wind was brutal. Made it hard to kind of get some areas, but I think most of my fish honestly vanished. I stopped fishing my main areas about 10, 11 o'clock yesterday, trying to wait for today, and they just weren't there. But congrats to, I guess, will be a surprise who wins this. He absolutely smashed them today. But yeah.
Way to go, man. Get you up on the podium. All right. That takes us to first place. This angler had a heck of a day. Heck of a 2 days, but especially a heck of a day today. They had 177.75 inches between the 2 days, a 20.25 inch kicker, which is a 1/4 inch shy of Sean's Big Bass winner, winning $2,291, Mr. Dan Walker from Washington. Way to go, man. There's that and that.
All right.
Let's hear about your 2 days, and especially that giant fish.
So I fished here a lot, so I felt like I had an advantage. But just to tell you, I found a new spot that I've never fished in this lake, and it was a 10-minute pedal from the launch. It's a point with 3 boulders on it, big boulders, probably as big as
GPS?
what?
GPS
Oh.
coordinates? Oh, okay, sorry.
I don't mind sharing. Message me. I'll send you my waypoints. So I'd start out there in the morning, and it was a big fish spot. It was small. There wasn't a lot of, you couldn't fish there all day. And that's where I caught all but one of my 18-inch fish, and all in a jig, mostly in drop shot. A football head jig, finesse jig, and then today I doubled up with a heavier setup. And this morning my first cast was that 20.25, and I caught it on my heavy setup, luckily, and that's how that went. So I was pretty stoked about that. And so I'd fish there in the morning, and then I'd hit the face of the dunes a little bit later just to give it a rest. And then at the end of the day, I'd go back, and I'd be looking like, someone better not be on my spot. No one did. It's a really funny spot. I actually just side scanned it on the way back on Friday and casted twice and caught a big fish, and I said I'm going to start there, and it's a great spot. But brown and purple jig, just dragging it slow, and then drop shot. And then one of the fish today, they were really fussy this afternoon at that spot. I caught my last 18-inch fish on a Ned rig, and I just dropped it on its head. So it was fun fishing. It was terrible weather, but good fishing. So yeah,
All right,
that's
way
it.
to go. Before we sign off, I do want to talk about one thing that happened here on day 2 that's pretty interesting. I want to do a little shout out to another angler that didn't make the podium but had a hell of a day today. Robert Motherwell. You had a killer day today. Robert went from nothing and just caught a limit of 5, and he just had to do one upgrade to put him into first place, and he did that. His biggest fish was, I think, a 19.5. That was the last one that he caught of the day. He actually was in first place today for most of the afternoon, but then after we turned off the standings today, Dan had one in his back pocket that he uploaded that popped him back up to first on day 2. But unfortunately, Robert didn't have a great day yesterday, so that hurt him in terms of the overall standings. But he had such a great day today. If he'd had a better day yesterday, he'd probably be up on the podium with these guys. He would have taken one of their places. So great job today, Robert, and next time. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate all of you for participating this year. You're the best of the best that KFNW has. We had a really great year. We did 6 tour events in locations all over Oregon, Idaho, and Washington. We're going to be back next year, still covering that whole region. I look forward to seeing a lot of your faces back next year to fish those events, and maybe back at the Classic next year. We'll be announcing our schedule pretty soon as we can. We still can't apply for permits in Washington or, in Idaho or Oregon yet. We can in Washington, and we have applied for some permits in Washington. But the other two, we've got to wait. So thanks again, and see you next year.